Good morning. Welcome Commissioners Court, December 15th. We have a full quorum present. Carrie, you certify the meeting was properly posted.
Yes.
You'll please rise for prayer and pledges. James Ray.
Our Father, we humbly bow before you this morning, seeking your presence in this courtroom, that you may guide these gentlemen in the decisions that they are going to make for the residents of Walker County. Father, we thank you for your word and we thank you for all that it says to us. Father, I want to share Romans 10, verse 17. It says, "So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of God." Father, we're asking that we'll all take time to read your word and remember and study your word, that where your truth comes through to us. Father, we ask that you lead us through this court this morning. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
United States and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice. One second, under God, one life and indivisible.
Get any citizens input this morning? We got any? Consent agenda contains 15 items. The pool number 9.
I'll make the motion to approve consent agenda, removing number 9 and approving the minutes with a couple of grammatical corrections. Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. Number 9, receive resignation letter from Joe Connell, CERT coordinator. I'm gonna call Mr. Joe up. Have a plaque for you. Plaque reads, congratulations, Joe Connell, 20 years of excellence. Thank you for your dedication, success of CERT and OEM. Be proud of the work you have done and make the difference and made the difference you have made. 2005 to 2025. Come on up here.
Come on
Mr.
up, Joe.
Anything?
You got 1 minute.
I can do less than that because boss man, that I want to thank the judge and the commissioners for their support in Walker County, sir. We've got a great team. You have a great team to do their thing. Thank you.
That's it?
Hey, that's good. Nope.
I get that. There you go.
Thank you so
Then
much.
get a picture.
Take a picture.
Don't.
We gotta do a picture.
Which way we need to go?
Just
You're
not
good.
still, Miss Joe. We're gonna get around you.
We gotta say a couple things about it. Joe, before you go, we gotta give you a couple, I gotta have a little winded.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Bill.
When you kind of work in the public sector like we are, it's a work of love for your community for the most part. You do it not for the pay and for the fabulous hours, because neither one of those exist. But been here 20 years, majority of that was mostly volunteer. We gave you almost nothing. Then a few years ago, we helped a little bit. So that improvement. It still didn't pay for what you did for Walker County. I mean, you've been Butch's right-hand guy in the middle of the night, rainy days, weekends, storms, floods, whatever we needed something, we call Joe. Joe's there. And you talked about CERT. I mean, you're the reason CERT and your team is why CERT is what it is. Y'all built a fabulous organization. We're better for it. So thank you once again for doing what you did.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it, Mr. Joe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I move that we approve number 9.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor? All of them.
Either
All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. Number 16, discuss and take action to purchase tire change, tire balancer equipment for a mechanic shop at the jail.
I got a sledgehammer at the house.
Wedge
Tire hammer.
Currently the.
You're gonna talk about.
He don't act like he wants to. I even told him about the old balancer I had.
Brandon passed the mechanic.
Yeah, I bet he didn't like that idea, did he?
But at the, so the tire changer and tire balancer, both the grits, the motors wore out on the tire changer, the display is worn out on the balancer. And it's hard to get the balanced tires right. Of course, we do all the tires for the SOs, but we do a lot of tires. And What I'm requesting is to get a new tire changer and balancer. At a cost of 80.
You said that real fast. Tricia, where you at? No, you back there. Okay, where are we gonna pull the money from?
Do you have any special funds you were going to use?
No, ma'am.
It would be project contingency.
That'll be my motion to approve it through project.
I'll second that.
Move and second, all in favor, raise your right hand.
Right.
Motion carries.
I'll be bringing you some
Get that
tires
ballot.
that need balance though.
Wish you.
Count on county equipment. Number 17, discuss and take action regarding redistrict following 89th legislature, second called session. Want to say anything before we go into executive on it?
Judge, I'm gonna step out for this one. Why y'all go into executive session? Because it directly affects me.
Perfect.
Stuff, so.
All right, we're gonna go into executive session under 551.071 with Brandon Decker removing himself from the conversation. Executive session. All right, we're back at 9:25 from executive session. We'll get an update from Ms. McCray. Maps.
Okay, so today we're bringing the proposed maps that we brought before the court, maybe a month ago, I believe it was. With an exception of another option for the court, but I just kind of wanted to go through just so that everybody can see once again, what the changes are. So when you look at this current map, we have this area of blue that now says 105. It was in precinct 1, but due to the congressional line, we're gonna have to create a new voting box. It'll be named 105. However, there's no movement between commissioner precincts. In this one, this area that is over to the right, that's now labeled 401, it was in precinct 2. It will be moved over to precinct 3 because it's split right down the middle from the congressional line. So it's in 4. In 4. Okay, so this was in precinct 4, but again, it's been split right down the middle. So this area down here labeled 206, it will be moved over to precinct 2. And again, on this one, this was in 2, and now it would be moved over because it's split right down the middle over into precinct 4. This is a map that we did want to create just to make sure it was a clear picture of what we're doing with this area of precinct 405. This is the current line of 405. However, now due to the congressional movement, it's now going to be absorbed into 403. So we will be eliminating precinct voting box 405. So the people will just now be in 403 instead.
Do you want option A now?
Yes. So now we're looking at the last area that is affected by redistricting. All of this was in precinct 4, all the green area. Option A would be, since it's split down the middle, it would be absorbed by 203. So it would be moved over to precinct 203. And then option B would be to create a new voting box, and it would be now labeled 406.
And stay with 4.
And stay in precinct 4.
Okay,
Any question?
I don't have any questions.
Just one statement. Any complaints need to go to our Texas legislature. Thank them for all the time they give us. It was absolutely none.
Well, like I said, I'd like to thank Don and her staff, Mr. Scott Bounds, for what they've come up with to assist us with the problem that Taylor created last week.
Yeah.
And y'all have come up with a solution that does help us.
And once again, just to reiterate, though we are creating 2 new voting boxes, we're eliminating 1. So technically that 1 new box, if you would not create a new poll place. So we're still at a good place where we don't have to go out and find another countywide poll place. So it shouldn't affect that kind of cost.
Which would cost our taxpayers more money.
Correct.
You want any more rooms?
No.
Yeah. I figured you'd make.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to, is it option B? I messed this up.
Yep.
To adopt option B, congressional lines as presented on the maps
Along with all the other ones.
with all the proposed maps.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries.
I know it was difficult, but we
Yeah.
appreciate y'all getting it done and
They did not have any time.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, Mr. Scott.
Can somebody grab Brandon?
See you in 5 years, brother.
Probably not.
Come on now.
thank you, Mr. Bounds.
Is change the law so much already. Not popular. All pre-clearance stuff,
Until they change it again.
until they change it again.
All right. Commissioner Decker's gonna join us back. We'll start number 18. Discuss and take action to authorize Microsoft True Up Enterprise Update Statement with no changes to close out year 2 of 3 on Microsoft licensing.
That's fine.
What does that mean?
What?
Got Dan or somebody? to
Dan?
explain it?
Dan online, Ally?
Yes.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
All right, you're up, Dan.
Yes, sir. So this is just a Microsoft form. It's stating that we have not made any changes to our number of user or device licenses. and it's used just to close out the previous year. It's year 2 of 3 of our EA agreement with Microsoft.
I want to make a motion to approve agenda item 18 as presented.
Second.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 19, update on Hart's flooding issue. Larry?
Good morning.
Lauren?
Well, I just wanted to come and give a little update on what's been going on with the parks out there. I have not had a chance to speak to you about that. And so, I sent the judge a message last week, basically, that's what I was going to go over. As to, I received a call from the Arts Museum that they had a problem with a fire line inside the building. And so they got get inspected because there was a repair that needed to be made. And that their service provider had indicated we had a bad valve outside the building. Help was asked for with that valve outside the building. And I felt that since it's outside the building, it's in a shared space, we should go ahead and try and take care of that for them. So I contacted API and they scheduled a truck. Truck came by a few days later and he took information, he took photos, he went back to his office, sent a report to his uppers, and they were working on a quotation for us at that point because there was going to be quite a bit of digging and a little bit of specialized plumbing work going to go on double. So we were waiting for that. And then I was contacted by API again about a week after their first visit, and they told me that they were going to have another team come out because they weren't exactly sure about the information that was gathered the first time around. So we were waiting for the second team to come and build us a quote when the flood happened at the Arts Museum over the holiday weekend. After that happened, I told them to go ahead and just send somebody over here, get this thing fixed so we can get started on getting the place put back together. They sent a truck and digging machine over. They dug that valve out that was indicated as being bad. And it turned out that that valve that was indicated as being bad that they couldn't shut the fire system off with was actually for their drinking water. It was a quarter turn valve, not a street valve like a fire line normally is. We did some further investigation with the API guys and the city water department, and we found that their fire line does not actually have an isolation valve outside the building. It's not something that's required, but it's highly recommended for things like this. As it is right now, the only way to shut the fire line water off to their building right now is to shut it off at the city meter like they did during the incident out there. So I got a recommendation from the city that they need to have a line up valve installed on that line so we can avoid these problems in the future. And I had the team bury the valve back that we were trying to search for to begin with. And that's in a nutshell, that's how it's happened out.
All right, so where are we at right now with it? What's the status inside?
I'm not on that part of it. It's I know that they have rebuilding going on in there right now. I don't know where they are on that timeline though.
Terry, can you give us a quick update?
Yes, sir. So, restoration team pulled off Monday week ago. The building was dried out. Everything was good. Construction immediately came in after that, using quickset, floating, taping, and sheetrock. And we already have some rooms that have already been painted. So they're moving quickly. They're doing a good job. Very efficient. I can't speak highly enough. They're also part of the cotton team.
Okay. Well, I got.
Appreciate
Anybody
it.
else?
Thank you.
No, I'm good.
All right, thank you, Larry. Number 20, discussing action on onward award of solicitation C 0-26-011 financial advisor.
On that, and so the workshop, Mr. Perry is going to be giving a presentation at the workshop.
Okay.
Press.
Okay.
We'll come back to 2021. Discuss and take action on the purchase and payment of a used 2,000-gallon Astray asphalt distributor with 22-foot spray bar from Road RB Everest and Company in the amount not to exceed $217,500 through buy board contract 788-25.
So we've been kind of touring with this since budget time and one because we've got an old one and we got a really old one. We found this one. It's slightly used. There's a picture of it. Anyways, it'd save us about $100,000 if we decide we want to go this route. It shoots 21 foot or 22 foot, 2,000 gallon. It's very similar to what we've got. RB Everett through the buy board contract. One thing I'd ask if we approve this today is that we go down there and look at it. 'Cause they just got it in. We haven't really had a chance to look at it. We're planning on going down there this evening to
Ms. Cheryl, buying a used truck on buy board. Explain that to me. I didn't think you could do it.
No, it is allowed. That's the only thing that we can do, is buying a used vehicle that way. New vehicles, we have to solicit.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I had,
This was a lease vehicle? We got into this one time years ago. Go ahead, Mr. Earl, I'm sorry.
It's not a lease.
Okay.
spray in, from what I understand.
Years ago, we could not buy, and they have been told wrong. I don't remember whose equipment it was on. We could not buy used equipment of this value because it was over the 50,000. Unless it was owned by the company as a lease or whatever. If this is a true trade-in, then I don't know how we don't solicit.
I asked,
Do y'all remember this?
yeah, I remember what happened. And I actually sent the guy, the sales guy, that direct question and said, hey, how are we doing this? And he sent an email back saying, and he quoted this one and he said, oh yeah, y'all can purchase through buy board. And I was like, okay, so I think what I would ask today in conjunction with this, because we've been kind of doing this together, is that we approve the purchase amount of $217,500. The funding was going to come half from Road and Bridge General, plus not half, but 100 from Road and Bridge General, and the rest come from way station maintenance funds. It has a huge supply in it, so we could fund it through that without touching any of our budgets. And then we have a planned meeting today. We're going to try to leave at 11 if we can get out of here. There's several of us going down yonder, and Lonnie's been in touch with Lee, and go down and take a look at the truck. And if it's everything they say it is, and the pictures look pretty good with it, and we've talked to Brock, then he's going over it, and he said this is like one of the nicest ones he's ever seen. So if we say, hey, yeah, that's a nice truck, in the meantime, we can go through with Cheryl and our DA and follow up on the buy board stuff.
I want you to check in on that, Michelle, because I mean, we were told years ago that.
Yeah, we had to do crazy bid.
Yeah. I went over 50,000. We had to solicit.
Yeah, I actually was involved in one of those with something, and I don't remember what it was I bought. But it had never been sold, so we was able to do it because the dealer didn't sell it. They just leased it out.
Yes, it's a leased piece of equipment.
Because it's not owned by the company, it's been sold as well.
It's been sold
Yeah.
to another person and then brought back in as a trading.
We've been under the impression for years that you can't do that on buy board. I don't know. I mean, that's your question.
He is selling it again, right? I mean, so it came back to them.
Company owns it.
Okay, so if the company owns it and they're selling it through a buy board contract, I don't understand why we would not be able to buy it just because the guy defaulted on his part and they got it back.
Yeah,
Why
well,
would
I
we
please.
it from the purchase.
we just bring it up because, it's been in question before with us.
Right.
Yeah.
So that,
But selling it as used equipment, again, from what I understand, used equipment is different than buying new equipment. If it was new equipment, then yes, sir, I would solicit if it wasn't on a buy board.
Yeah.
But with it being on a buy board, we can go to a cooperative. Let's go
a cooperative contract. Then you can purchase through that cooperative contract.
I'm okay if you're okay. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah.
And Patricia, you got some.
The motion subject to the
Yeah.
review of, the county attorney,
Yeah.
as
That's what I would do.
the.
Cause we have been told different.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a long time. It's.
You're exactly, yeah, it was just my,
It's equipment that I was buying.
that was my understanding also. That's why I asked in that direct question.
Co-op?
We bought it on a co-op, but I mean,
Bought it from John Deere.
yeah, we was able to get it because they'd never sold it.
So,
We've always been told, and from purchasing, you wasn't there, but from purchasing, that we couldn't buy used equipment that way.
because
So-
you can't.
Because it was over 50,000.
Yeah, well, that,
Yeah.
you can't, they don't mark, because everybody bids a brand new distributor truck and everybody can.
Yeah, I mean,
That, and this isn't that. So that's why I had the questions, but
yeah, so we just. Yeah, it's 100 now.
Still,
It wasn't then.
still, all
we're still over.
right, so you want to try to make the motion? You can if you want.
Hey,
I'll make the motion.
One more comment.
Hold a second.
wait, I'd like to know where the money's coming from. You said 100 from Road and Bridge General.
100 from Road and Bridge General, which
What's left? What's that gonna leave us?
that leaves us,
It's in the,
It was about.
yeah, about 100,000.
yeah, it's about 100 in there.
I seen it in the
And
In other words,
budget amendments last night.
117 from waste station. Because we have a large amount down there that we have not touched in years.
No, that's not it.
Road and Bridge.
It's in one of these.
100,000
I've looked at it every now and then.
from waste station.
Yeah, I looked last night, but anyway, it leaves us about 100.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know how fast we run through money of it.
I mean, don't take long.
One breakdown costs you that, so.
Yeah.
All right,
All right,
Next
so
motion.
motion is gonna be approved. Purchase of the 2,000 gallon net and our asphalt distributor from RB Everett Company not to exceed 217,500 through buy board contract 78825. Using $100,000 out of Road and Bridge General. The remaining will come out of Weight Station Maintenance Fund.
Mhm.
Contingent upon
Ready?
the review of the buy board purchasing policy and contingent upon approval from Commissioner Decker and Doggett today. After,
I'll second that. After the visit.
did I get it all?
Okay, so subject to the review of the buy board contingency policy, the county attorney and
Subject to approval from Commissioner Decker and Doggett.
Yeah, I think
We're going down to data.
Inspection of the.
Inspection, yeah, our
Inspection would be a better word.
yeah, and it should be,
inspection by, instead of review, approval, inspection by.
yeah, the wording would be district attorney. won't be-
Yeah, and can you add in that, review of the county attorney for, state purchasing?
It's in there.
Yeah, but
buy board contingency policy.
Okay, very good.
Buy board contingency policy is okay.
Buy board
Uh,
purchasing
It
policy.
needs to say, and county attorney, state purchasing policies.
Okay.
all right, and I second that motion.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. Point two, discuss and take action on the purchase and payment of John Deere jet machine 4020 will pump and trailer in the amount of $4,000 Road and Bridge 4 budgeted funds.
This would be that machine to clean out culverts with. The city bought a brand new fancy one and, let us have this one, $4,000. My motion is going to be to approve purchase of this John Deere jet machine for 4,000 out of RB4 funds.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded.
I look at something.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 23, discuss and take action on the purchase of two Franklin A7 devices at $0 on the monthly rate plan of FirstNet Unlimited Wi-Fi data service, $30 per month through AT&T FirstNet to be paid from Road and Bridge Waste Station project funds.
Y'all had some questions about that, and so I had asked, Mr. Owens to be present for that.
Morning.
Good morning, sir. So you're with the weight station, right? All right, you're what, corporal? All right. Don't you already have internet services down there?
We do for our DPS network computers.
But for the DPS network, we can't go outside of that. It's gotta be equipped with the secure access software. And for our TVs at the waste station, there's no way to put that on there. So we need a separate Wi-Fi the state bought us like 9 TVs and we can't use them without Wi-Fi. So,
Well, of course, you're out of budget too. We're out of budget cycle and you're wanting to add something that's an ongoing cost to me. And, this kind of stuff typically needs to go through our budget when we're doing budget for me to be able to look at it. And the other thing is, I deal with one person when I deal with the waste station, and nothing against you, but you're not that person. So I just, like I say, it hasn't been brought to, sir.
at a staff meeting today.
But, well, like I say, but normally this kind of stuff does come to this court prior to us reading it on this agenda, for what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, yes, sir.
And so I've got some issues with it. I don't know about the rest of the guys, but
I'm still not sure what it is.
so.
So you already have a Wi-Fi system out there. You already have an internet system. I don't know what you,
Not that we could connect to. We have internet for our laptops and computers that have the DPS software in them. And for our TVs, we can't put that software on there. We're not able to use it because it's a secure, DPS is real strict on there.
So what are y'all gonna use this internet for?
Sorry?
What's it gonna be, this internet? TV service?
Yes, sir. It's a way, with the smart TVs now, you can just, have free apps on there to have constant access to news and weather. That's all we care about. Before you guys provided satellite TV service for us, that has gone away. I think you guys got rid of that years ago, but for some reason we were still receiving it in our old building. It never got shut off.
Yeah.
So once we got the new buildings, we lost everything as far as the TV service. So
Brandon, what are y'all gonna be doing down at the 4-H stuff? I mean,
What do you mean?
you gonna be putting in internet and stuff like that in that building, or
I got a 4-H leader here.
where's my 4-H guy? I know he's here somewhere. Did he leave? Oh, come on up. Eventually, will y'all be looking at internet?
that's a possibility. This time we haven't even discussed it in any meetings or anything yet.
What's our agreement say we pay for down there?
we pay for all utilities.
Yeah, I don't
Would
know.
it be, would it be
Needs
through
100.
Mid-South or, I mean,
Huh?
I guess.
Energy there.
So they're not gonna have it.
Down there? Okay.
Comcast is putting in all the stuff. I mean, one of the deals we've got today is Comcast is putting in the high speed fiber in that area right now.
Yeah.
I'm not promoting Comcast, but I know that Corporal is correct. Because years ago I owned the original TV that was in there for the satellite. So this is not something new. It's just something that has come back up. So I don't
Yeah.
have a problem with it.
Well, like I say, I mean,
I,
go ahead, Danny.
yeah, I mean, like I said, I deal with Sergeant Adams too, and nothing against you, officer, but, I'd like to see, I'd like to hear from him first, honestly. Before I vote on it anyhow.
Can we just kick it down the street 2 weeks?
Yeah.
And come back, let's do that.
Pass on 23.
I'd like to make.
Yeah,
Maybe
right.
see what our other options are too. I mean,
Yeah.
since this is the first.
And Ronnie brought up a good point. If we're gonna put Wi-Fi down there and the county's gonna pay for it, can we maybe add just a little bit to this so that if we need Wi-Fi at the
Bridge it over.
the freight facility, we will have access to it. I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
And yeah,
It's time to look at some more options too.
Let's do, okay.
yeah.
All right, we'll pass on
Just
20.
pass on it this time.
Thanks, sir.
All right,
Appreciate
thank you, sir.
20, discuss and take action on order 2026-14, amending the operating and personal budget for fiscal year ended September 30th, 2025. Ms. Allen?
Thank you. Okay, sorry, I'm not here yet.
There you go.
This order is for budget amendment for the year that ended September 30th of 2025. So basically part of our year-end closing process. So the The first group, is reporting, make sure I'm in the right. Yep. Most of these are transfers from contingency or between line items within departments, from salaries to operations to capital and vice versa. There are a few where there are interdepartmental transfers. Some of those are kind of in the middle here, where covering the court calls in the county courts, district courts, our legal fees have escalated quite a bit, so moving some funds around to get each of those departments funded. Going down to in jail, moving 105,000 from sheriff department salaries to jail salaries to cover the overtime at the jail. Constable 1 moving monies between categories. Adult probation project that had been started on the security did not get completed, so moving that money completed this year. And then going to the transfer to projects fund, moving 55,000 from the sheriff department for a vehicle that was not received in last fiscal year. The adult probation and jail equipment, moving all that money to projects so that it can be purchased in the current year. Road and Bridge department, we have in 2 of our departments, money we received from FEMA for labor and equipment that was not part of the construction costs themselves, adding that revenue to their budget and then adding that to operations, which will of course be part of the carry forward that comes forward. So in precinct 3 and precinct 4, we had that FEMA money coming in. In EMS fund, we had a piece of equipment that was budgeted that was, we did not think was going to come in prior to the end of the year. We moved it in the last budget adjustment, and now we're moving it back because we did receive that piece of equipment. Legislative fund, the Senate Bill 22 recording the interest earnings on those grants. And then in our commissary operations, just transferring money. Down at the bottom of the page, this shows the money coming into the projects fund. And if you'll see the opioid abatement, this is money that we received in general fund, but it has to be spent for separate special purposes. So there is a project being added that includes this 55,000 and then 10,000 that we received in the prior year. So we have about 66,000 available in for that purpose, a contract for that purpose. And then you can just see movement between the categories.
All right.
Make a motion to accept order 2026-14.
So,
Moving second, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion 25, discuss and take action on order 2026-15, amending the operation and personal budget for the fiscal year September 30th, 2026.
For the current year budget amendments, the first one you'll see is the recording of the revenue and the expenditure for the 287G memorandum funds. These monies still have not been received, though the purchase that was approved by court, that is still on hold. Social services, in the past, we budgeted that as an operations budget. This amendment transfers it out of that department and moves it to our department where we house the contract. So this is putting that up there in the contract. I think the contract's already been signed and paid, but this puts the money in the proper category. Road and Bridge precinct, this brings to the precincts, it brings the money forward from last year. So you can see the total amount of carry forward coming in And then, once it's into the budget, transfers going out, 100,000 going to capital, as y'all talked about this morning. Or I think it's, 120,000 going to capital. Road and Bridge Precinct 1, moving the money in, Precinct 2, 3, 4. And then when you get down here to 88010, that's the department, yes, that's the money where the 120 is coming out as a transfer to the general fund, the general operating Road and Bridge General, which would fund the truck that y'all just talked. And EMS, transfer from contingency operations for increased cost. And your, the next page, capital projects, this is, leveling up the project money that was actually left at the end of last year. There was some that was less than what we originally thought, some that was more, coming. So you can go down IT projects is money coming in. Opioid projects, county facilities, coming out of project contingency. 11,000 of this, or almost 11,000, is the opioid money that we received in the prior year. The senior center parking lot, more money left than what we were expecting in the prior year. Sheriff equipment coming in, EMS coming out that we talked about. And then the jail project, the money, we had more left on the contract than we expected, so that money has come forward and the bulk of that money has been paid as of this day.
Okay.
And then the last page is all the contracts that we receive really on a routine basis, showing that money coming in. The last two are the SB 22 CDA and sheriff grant money coming in. And the other thing I wanted to mention was that we have in the Road and Bridge Fund roughly $3 million that's outstanding from FEMA at this point that we've already spent. So we did a loan from the general capital projects to cover that money in Road and Bridge until we can get that FEMA money. So we have reached the point where we've got significant money outstanding from FEMA that we're using other funds to cover the advance of the expenditures.
All right. Is there any sign, anybody know when, I hadn't talked to Butch about it, when we might get some of that payment money back?
I did talk to him the other day and, our projects are moving forward finally anyhow.
Okay.
When we'll get the money, but at least they got off of high center. I think that was mainly mine and yours, I believe, so.
I think.
Because y'all are already getting money back in.
Yeah.
What's on?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it'll turn around and start coming back, so we can pay Patricia back.
So you can pay another fund.
But it was progress.
Loan it.
Move to approve order 2026-15.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 26, discuss and take action on planning development engineer position. Go in executive session under 551.04 at 9:59. All right, time is 10:13. We're back from executive session. We'll take no action. 27, discuss and take action on resolution authorizing submission of disaster recovery allocation program, application number DRRP 301-1452, administered to the Texas General Land Office of Walker County. Ally, which one is that one? What's that grant?
The communication one.
Okay, so we have that on the,
Communication.
this is communication grant. This is a new one we got. It's up to $2 million. We have 2 years to fund it, and we have a workshop after this to discuss it. Would y'all like to come back after workshop on this?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, pass on 27, come back. 28, discuss and take action on engineering service contract for DRRP 25141-009-F356. DRRP 25-141-009 F357. They're Bill and
Yes, they're 3 and 4, the disaster ones.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Slip by me
You
there.
didn't think we were gonna do it. Hey, I'm gonna do it. Was you gonna sit?
Motion carries. 29, discuss and take action on appointing Mary Keller to the Walker County ESD #1 board.
Make the motion to approve agenda item number 29.
You know who she's replacing?
Mary is replacing Trey. I don't remember his last name.
Trey turned out.
Trey Turner. Yes, yeah, appreciate that. You mentioned that to me.
Yep.
Yep.
I got a motion and a second.
Yep.
Motion and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carried. 30, discuss and take action on appointing Charlene Crocker to Walker County ESD board #1.
I'll make the motion to approve agenda item 30. Charlene is replacing Lisa Olson, who turned out.
So,
Moving second, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 31, discuss and take action on reappointment Thomas Malik, James Gregory, and Jane Ellsworth to the Walker County ESD board 2.
Motion to approve.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 32, discuss and take action to add New Waverly Community Club Arena to Walker County.
Well, I asked to put this in front of court. Working on getting it and got it up and everything. Now we're trying to figure out the insurance on it. I thought it. For each. The property. On that. Got the book back. It's for. Got it Friday, so I didn't have it on backup, but Jack to cover it for 1,000 bucks a year or insurance. That's my motion.
The price of, what was the price again? I apologize.
400.
30. Without memory, 3,400.
Josh, y'all have a general liability on that thing? Or-
The 4-H. Asset, let me explain that. There's not one that's just in there. Like for that location, no. But the 4-H has a general liability policy that covers all 4-H functions.
All right, like it.
So,
Go ahead.
how does our contractor? Our MOA,
The contract reads that they provide insurance.
okay, but I guess as long as the general will cover anything else other than the building is, right?
Say that again.
So if we cover the building insurance, their general,
Their liability's covering a
Liability
kid
coverage.
breaking a leg or something.
Yes, all the liability goes to them other than the building. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So the way I understand it, and
We don't own this building though, right? This is a 4-H building.
I see Miss,
All right.
yeah, it's on Walker County land, as
Contract, because contract is very specific that they pay the insurance. They need to confirm that if it's a building that is not owned by the county, confirm that we can cover that under our insurance and maybe have the county attorney look and see how we need to modify or amend the contract or what needs to happen. But I'm thinking that at a minimum, the contract would need to be amended.
because I know with the senior center, we kind of have the same relationship and, but I think if Yes, exactly. And that's, and anything in it goes back to, if it ceases to exist, it all goes back to the county, where this is a little different.
That's my concern
Yeah.
on it is what happens out at Master Gardener land? Do we,
Yeah,
do
we
they have,
carry all the,
No, we carry it.
all them buildings.
those are our buildings.
Nope. They built them, put
Yeah.
them up and everything.
And
We cover insurance.
we cover insurance.
Same
on
thing
them.
with Fowl House. We don't own it. We cover insurance.
Okay, if that's the policy that we're doing, that's fine. Then
But I think Patricia's concern is.
We need to adjust our contract.
Yeah.
So I'll include that in my motion,
Contingent upon review of contract.
contingent upon, I actually would like to get insurance on it now so that it's covered. And then, with coming back to have the DA look at the contract and, we can adjust the wording how it needs to be.
Are you good, Miss Gracie? I see.
I see.
So that's the thing. The only way I think, based on the language in the original agreement, that we would have to amend the agreement in order to do this, because it does specifically say that the 4-H is responsible for obtaining insurance on the building. So that just needs to happen. If that's y'all's choice to place it onto the insurance, then that's up to your discretion. But the contract would need to be.
We need to bring the contract back
Yeah.
amended next court.
Then you put insurance on.
Then we put this back on it right after that.
What's our deadline for next court? Cause it's on the 29th.
Wednesday at 5.
after tomorrow.
Day after tomorrow. Ms. Gracie, can you have that contract amended by day after tomorrow so we can have it on court?
Yeah, I can look at it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
well, you get the.
So you're gonna rescind
item
your
by the
motion
time.
and just your legal actions?
But we.
Get a motion?
Yes,
I did motion, he seconded.
You know, we're gonna,
Who seconded?
I did.
Oh, you did second.
y'all wanna rescind that?
Yes,
Rescind that.
Okay,
we'll rescind that and then
we'll pass.
pass on this. Bring it back.
Get it done.
33, discuss and take action to waive development permit fees for the new Waverly Community
Hang on,
College Arena.
This one for you too, buddy.
It don't leave yet. Trying to burn off on me now.
Building permit fee, we got a little confused. I had told him I was gonna bring it to.
We both are.
I told him I was gonna get it, bring it to court to ask for the waiver of the fees. Anyways, so now I'm before court asking for the waiver of the building development permit fees. Still have to get the permit, but waiving the fees. That's my motion to waive the fees.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm
Second.
second, 2 seconds. Go
Move
ahead.
second, all in favor, raise your hand.
You got plenty of them.
Motion carries.
There you go.
All right, 34, discuss and take action on fee litigation in case cause number 25-31-957. We're gonna go in executive session again, 551.071. We're having fun today.
Is this yours?
Time is 10:21.
No,
All right, time is back at 10:36. We took legal advice from council and we're gonna move on past 34. Go to 35, public hearing concerning plat number 2025-016, replat of lot 7 and 8, block 1, section 7 of Wildwood Shores. Time is 10:36. Anyone here to speak on that? Nate, you got anything?
Since we,
You got anything?
yeah, I'm just, Mr. Lee was, that was at the public hearing last time. We got an email that said we confirmed with our survey expert that the boundary at the replat survey is the same one originally. I do not plan on attending this hearing. That was Mr. Lee here last.
Several courts back.
Yeah.
On it 2 times and he disputed it. And y'all advised them to get with their legal counsel and get it resolved before we brought it back. They have filed a boundary agreement, gave you copies of it.
Okay.
And he has said that he's fine with it. I also gave you a copy of his email saying that he withdraws his.
So everybody seems to be happy now.
It was the lot boundary at Brandon and asking between lot 8 and lot 9, and they resolved it.
Yeah, I remember the discussion.
Oh, yeah. Like picket fence and all that.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
All right, time is 10:37. 10:38 just changed. Open hearing is closed. 36, discuss and take action on plat number 2025-016, replat of lot 7-8, block 1, section 7, Wildwood Shores.
My motion is gonna be to approve the revised replat based upon the agreement reached between Mr. Curry and Mr. Lee regarding the property boundary dispute.
I'll second that.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 37, discuss and take action on Comcast of Houston LLC utility installation request for fiber optic cable along under a portion of Colony Road.
This is the one you pulled last time, Brendan?
This is the one I pulled last time, so you got the minutes from last court there? All the ones we did, but, and I'm gonna read it, but that's so you go ahead. Motion's gonna be made to approve Comcast of Houston LLC for utility installation request for fiber optic cable along under portion of Colony Road on developmental permits approved before installation can start, and also for variance approved by Commissioners Court. Need to do 811 locate to protect utility companies. Once complete, will submit as built drawings of facilities as listed in the Blau Engineering conditional no objection letter dated December 3rd, 2025, because then we've got the updated letter.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll second that.
Doing a lot.
Motion to second, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion. 38, discuss and take action on Kyle Villarreal request for variance on on-site sewage facility regulations of Walker County regarding lot 12 of North Dell Addition.
So this was a petition to continue the use on a system that we don't have any permit risk for. Sanitary had gone out and looked at it. It was serving a double wide mobile home. It's a conventional system. And now the new owner is going to put in 1-bedroom, 800 square foot cottage, which is less than what was there. He's asking to be able to continue using that system even though we don't have any permit.
I visited with the fella. He came to my office. It was a 80s or mid 80s, early 80s development back then when they put it in. So may not have done the paperwork on it. I don't know, but it's been there for 40 years serving the double wide without any trouble. So the conversation I had with him was put in for the variance. I'll talk about it. I'm going to recommend that we approve it. It's a smaller facility, but made it clear, being that it is 3.5 acres, that if he has any other development, that he's starting from scratch and we'll start over again with everything. So my motion to is approve item number 38 as presented.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion. All right, we're gonna go in the workshop with presentation from D.A. Davison and Company by Steve Perry, Senior Vice President to work. Hey, Mr. Perry on, oh, hey.
There
There you are.
Finally up.
Thank you. Glad to be here. I brought a presentation to the date, it's from a couple of weeks ago when I was gonna come out here originally. Morning. Steve
Morning.
Perry, Ed Davidson. Talked with you all for a little while and now, worked for a before, but I just wanted to come to talk about the services that we provide. I think there were some questions when this item came up before as to what it is exactly my firm does. We're a financial advisor. We have a fiduciary obligation to our clients as we represent. So as you're taking a look at building projects that, you may want to endeavor on in the future, my job is to provide you with options, let you know what your ability is to finance your project. And I've got some of those options here in this presentation. And then to represent you, to facilitate all the different parties that will be working on that. We're not facilities people, so I'm not an engineer, I'm an architect, but I will, to the extent you need those folks, help to bring them on board. So this is an ongoing relationship. Our fees are contingent upon you actually doing something. So if you talk about this and, get a few months down the road, get a year down the road and it fizzles out, well, then we continue to be retained as your financial advisor. But, we'll just continue to provide you with advice. So again, it's not my job, not my responsibility to push you to do anything. To the extent you want to do something that projects that you'd like to take on, I'm going to give you advice. Like I said, I will help you put together a model, a financial model that tells you what the feasibility is of certain types of financing. And like I said, if in the end you decide that you want to do something different, if the cost is just too much, for any reason you want to stop and you just, and like I said, we'll keep letting you know over time what's happening in the markets. This is an area that is affected by the legislature. So as the state is taking certain actions to affect your ability, just tax rates and those sorts of things, we'll let you know because that affects the things that we're doing. So I'll walk through this presentation. I want to make sure I'm responsive to your questions. I don't want to just walk through here and kind of march through without maybe I'm answering that you'd like. So what do we do? You've got just a limited number of options. County, you can do things that the legislature allows you to do, things that are enabled by statute. So essentially, if you want to build something, you got the ability to go to voter and ask for a bond election to be approved. I believe your hospital district just did that. You've also got the ability to issue certificates of obligation. So if you're going to construct something, those are a couple of the most common methods of building things. We advise getting construction folks on board early because a lot of times what happens is folks go out and they raise money, issue certificates, have a bond election, but they don't know exactly what the project's going to cost. Construction inflation the last few years has been running hot. It's been 10 to 20%. So what we see a lot of times is folks get out and start to build things, cities, counties, school districts, and they're short. So that's not ideal. We don't want to have to come back and do a cleanup sort of financing. So we tend to work hand in hand with developers, those sorts of folks that can help you and make sure that we've got really good numbers. And what we like to have is what we call a guaranteed maximum price from a developer, a contractor before we actually raise money. Because like I said, we've just seen too many times where folks end up short. So another option and something that counties have been doing is what we call lease revenue bonds. It's a little bit more of a complicated financing structure, but it's not a certificate, it's not a bond, but you're paying it out of your operating budget. So, we've got to make sure that the payment work with counties before to do a model, determine what cash will look like over time, what your revenues look like, expenditures look like, what do those look like over time? And does this fit within that? So said, we got the ability to do this. The Attorney General in particular has very specific requirements, and we would work closely with your bond counsel to make sure that we're still meeting within the framework of what Ken Paxton would like to see from those. Used to be settled law. We had no question about how those work, but there have been a couple of do those, and were shut down, City of Austin and others. So that is an option, but we want to make sure that when we're proceeding down that path, we've got everybody on board, including your attorneys. So like I said, if you would like to release an RFP, bring construction folks on board, we've worked with a number of those guys, and we would help you with the RFP, make sure that it's asking all the pertinent questions, and that you find somebody that you're comfortable with. Once we get down the road, let's say that it's time to actually sell some sort of a debt obligation. And that's where my job kicks in really intensely, because it's our responsibility to make sure that you get the best possible deal. So if you're going to raise money in the debt markets, we've got to look at the rest of the market and make sure that the interest rates you get are on competitive with others, and that the fees that you're paying are also competitive. Our job also extends to what happens after you've actually sold bonds, investing the proceeds, making sure that you're square with the IRS. They've got obligations, and you've got obligations under the SEC to continue to provide information on an annual basis. I think you noted last time in my agreement that at the back, we had a fine my firm had paid that was, I think, $500,000. It was related to that continuing disclosure. It was called an MCD, Municipal Continuing Disclosure Initiative. Every firm across the country paid this, so paid some variation of that fine. And it had to do with the SEC back in saying that firms that underwrite bonds, like my firm does, had an obligation to make sure everybody was up to date on those responsibilities. And it was really kind of slipshod. People weren't really making sure that was 100% taken care of. But we have policies and procedures in place. I wouldn't be underwriting bonds for you. I'd be your financial advisor. I can't do both sides of things. So it really doesn't pertain, but that's what that little sentence was back of our. Any questions so far? I keep walking through here. I took a look at the county. One of my jobs is to make sure that I understand what your financial wherewithal is, what your abilities are. You're a highly rated county, which you would expect. Your finances are in good shape. You've got a large and growing tax base. So you have a credit rating of AA3 for Moody's Investor Service, which is pretty near to the top. If you decide to do something, part of my job is to make sure you understand what that credit rating. If you raise more money, it could affect what that rating is. The higher that rating is, the less you pay in interest. So it's on our job to make sure that that's as high as possible. We want to keep your interest costs down, keep investors interested. The financing options, like I said, these revenue bonds, I've covered some of these things. I won't go into too deep detail unless you'd like me to. But like it says, basically you're paying a lease. So you look at the size of the project, you look at really what that's going to cost on an annual basis in terms of a lease. That is paid out of your M&O, your operating budget. That is not paid out of the INS tax. So we want to make sure that that fits within the amount of funds that you have the ability to make payment. So this is an option. It marries up well with what we call P3 developments, because it gives you the ability to get to market quickly. You have in this model, typically a developer retained ahead of time. You're determining all the real estate side of things, making sure that you selected good sites, that you have talked with all the parties who are going to be interested in this, judges, other folks, to see that you're getting the right thing built. And then we issue these. Typically, it gets you to the market 6 months to a year faster than doing general obligation bond or certificates of obligation. And as inflation is going on, that can be worth a fair amount of money. So there are some components to these revenue bonds.
You have to set up an entity that leases the facility back to you. So you would have a like a Public Facilities Corporation that you set up. Would be the Walker County Public Facilities Corporation. It's really your own entity, but you're making the lease payment to it. So it's just a thing that the law sets up so that you can. There's also real estate work involved with this, so you have to pledge a mortgage. It becomes a little bit more expensive, but it can be faster to get you to market.
All right.
On the next page is just an example of all this put together for the county to show you where we were able to determine that those guys spot them. Just an example of the sort of work that we've done with other counties to determine if they've got the ability. The next page, just a quick overview of general obligation bonds. These are the voting songs. So you have the ability to finance large projects, like I say, lease revenue bonds, general obligation bonds, and certificates. You know about having elections. You can have bond elections at the same time. You have all your other general elections, May and November currently. Legislature really has a keen eye toward getting that down to once per biennium. Right now, still May and November of every year, you're able to have an election. I would still advise showing general obligation bonds to get as close to a guaranteed maximum price as you can. Like I said, you've done all sorts of works, water mains, come in and they're twice what you expected before you actually get to the market. Certificates of obligation is basically the same as a general obligation bond. It's paid out of your INS tax, but it is subject to a petition. So there's no vote. But if a certain number of voters sign a petition, they can force that the threshold is 5% of registered voters. But you can basically do the same thing you can do with general obligation bonds. It gets the same credit rating, duty paid back over the same period of time.
This wants to jail this down, right?
What, man?
What's the deal?
Yeah. Certificate of obligation.
Yeah.
And then one of the last pages here, page 9, I just did an example. What does it look like? $45 million project, and just some rough number. No idea what's the involved with in terms of raising money, but I've got some of my assumptions here. And the long and the short of it is that for every $10 million that you raise, it's about a penny of tax levy or a penny of tax effort. So, call that a $20 million project. You're talking roughly a penny, and it's 50 million, about 5 pennies. The more your tax base grows, the less that becomes. But just where you are right now, that's a rough estimate. So, just in terms of you frame what your reality is.
You're saying 1 penny, 10 million is one penny for the life of the project, right?
Right, for 30 years.
30 years.
Yes, we're assuming 30 years. If you're going to build something that has a long life, building, that sort of thing, most of the time we'll finance it for 30 years. Now, we can shorten that up, but then it becomes higher in terms of the number of pennies and things to pay back. So that's your call, but like I said, you can go out 40 years, 30 is typically where it's up.
30 is a long time.
30 is a long time.
30 is a long time.
I've been doing this long enough that I'm actually seeing some things that I did and paid all the way off.
It's finally paid off.
Hard to believe. Another thing that we give ourselves the ability to do with all of these is to prepay. So the market is used to what we call a call option, and we put that in there somewhere between 8 and 10 years. You get out to 8 to 10 years and you got the ability to refinance if interest rates have gotten less. And sometimes folks will have a windfall, but a fair amount of money, they get out to 10 years and they will let them not just refinance their savings, let's shorten it. We've got $5-10 million saved up. Let's put that into a fund and use that to shorten the time frame of that.
Okay.
And there are other things that so one of my jobs is not to finance the project and go away. I want to develop a relationship with you like I've had some of my clients for many years. You have the ability right now as you go out and you set your tax rate each year. If your tax base is growing, you can do what we call a defeasance resolution or defeasance order. keep your tax rate where it was the year before, raise a little bit more money and pay the debt off earlier. So then you're collapsing the note ahead of time. It's just like making an additional payment. We'll advise on those things. You don't have to do it, but too.
So we'll pretty much, we come up with a project, we come up with a total, we come up with our CIP plan, whatever. And then we give you a call and say, all right, some money now, and then you'll come in and say, all right, here's your various options to do that. That would be your role.
Well, that's part of it, but as you're developing your CIP, I want to be involved too. Because I've worked on a number of projects, and typically I'll get involved just as early as the construction folks are getting involved too. I've worked with a number of those folks. They've all got strengths and weaknesses. Some developing RFPs for those folks. I'd like to be involved in that portion of it. I'm not just the finance guy. Like I said, I'm not an engineer or architect, but there is a lot of my job that goes along with developing projects.
You've seen a bunch of them too.
Yes.
All right.
That's right.
And I think that's the important part. Like when you mentioned the 4 cents, 4 to 4.5 for every 10 million. And that's one reason I brought up the, our CIP plan, our strategic plan going forward to have something hitting the ground in 2032. If you time it right, then 2 cents of these 4 cents we've already got in place. So you're not going to the people saying, I need 4 cents. You're like, hey, we've got 1.8 cents dropping off the budget this year. And generally we have 2 or 3 cents in our effective rate of rollback. So it could be very well that you have very little tax impact if you time it right, but you got to get an early start on it, and which is one thing I'm trying to crank.
That's what we did this year on tax plan. We took that 3.4% of that last cent we did and put in long range plan too. So we're already getting there.
Yeah, it's a good start. Yeah, it's a good start.
Or to build your.
All right.
It's a long way though.
Long ways.
All right.
Yeah. Any other questions?
I think I'm good with it.
I appreciate the
Thanks for the
presentation.
presentation. Thank you.
What about Mr. Earl? Y'all got?
Two questions. One, if you do the P3 or the lease bonds and it's coming out of your operating tax, does that typically grow us to, we're going to be required to do the rollback election?
Typically, we don't want to trigger a rollback. So we're looking at the ability to increase the operating budget over time. So we wouldn't want to go over the rollback.
Okay, so that'd be a factor in determining a level.
Yes.
And then, as far as fees, am I understanding that, basically the fees kick in when there's going to be a debt issue of some type? And then that would be rolled into that, and then we wouldn't be receiving invoices for the follow-up services that you provide associated with that?
That's correct. That's correct. So whenever we finance a project, that's a budget. Cost of issuance, we can even look back at your fine fees and reimburse you for those. But yes, that's correct. Whenever the time comes, the day of closing, we don't ask you to come out of pocket for anything. All that's built in.
Yeah, so the arbitrage calculations and all of that has been factored in as service you'll provide.
Correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
Ms. Cheryl, you got anything?
Go back to number
20 and 20. 2027 after the next meeting.
Okay, I'm good.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you all.
So much. Appreciate that.
All right, next on workshop, projects for DRRP communication grants. So we filled out a communication grant. We're have the opportunity to turn in for $2 million. It's due January
January 12th.
January 12th. Our idea on this was to do when we submitted it, was to do a communication like disaster recovery trailer for communication. They shot that down.
Oh, really?
On the trailer part.
Okay.
You can put stuff in it. So now we've talked to the city. They want a trailer too. They said they'd be willing to, on the cost of put the stuff in it. But that still doesn't spend up to the $2 million. On top of that, I've been talking to Thomas Gilbert. He's the radio guy for Brazos Valley Cog. He was a firefighter here. I don't know if he still is or not. He still is. So he's supposedly the radio guru guy. He talked about we need some vehicle repeaters installed. He talked about maybe doing the supervisor vehicles on patrol, EMS, and some fire department things, and then we can clump in some mounted radios. Handheld radios do not apply for this grant.
Everything has to be permanently affixed
Fixed to a vehicle or something.
or a building.
So really, if we approve up to the 2 million, that's 200,000 contribution from us. But it doesn't mean we're necessarily going to go all the way to 2 million.
Right.
We don't know that. So we have 200,000 in projects or someplace hiding out that we can get that money from.
So my thought was,
3 million in the hole already. You heard that earlier.
what did we do with
Look great.
what did we do with Butch's fund for the expansion of his warehouse? We had 400,000 set aside for that.
It was rolled back into project contingency.
Yeah.
We still have 280,000 set aside for generator grants, and I don't know the status of that or if we spend that.
My thought was to use the 400 that we had set aside already for Butch's, if we're gonna use it for a trailer.
Mhm. Yeah.
Is to
I
put
think I think it's worth going down the road. Absolutely. I mean,
It'd be like what a dispatch could operate out of.
Yeah, so you can put a temporary dispatch station if we need it. So if something happens to that building and need to be up and going,
yeah.
we'd have it there. We'd pull the trailer up, mount it and roll
Would they,
in an emergency.
could you apply for like some radio study guy to come look at us and say,
It
hey,
doesn't qualify.
doesn't qualify?
We asked that question.
Okay.
But we talked about doing y'all's, that countywide survey study that doesn't qualify.
I think it's worth approving it up to, at least that way we can turn the application in.
But my thought was to get Thomas here and with Anthony and kind of do a little quick study and say, this is what we need. We got radio counts on all the fire stations, EMS dispatch, y'all's, and the sheriff's office, and just kind of knock those off the list. We know we got some that are old, put them priority. I don't know where y'all's are at on your vehicles, but we have those lists.
Yeah.
And max it out at the 2 million. My thought.
And
Kinda
the city is involved in this, so they're.
Nope. They're not.
Not.
But our thought was if we do that dispatch trailer and we have to buy the shell of the trailer, the city said they would split us on the shell of the trailer to get this grant going. Doesn't say that they wouldn't come back in and say, hey, spending
$1
million on a trailer, we'll pay half of whatever. So they are willing to help and
Just to get it.
Okay.
just to get up, and go. They don't have a trailer response trailer either. So I think that's a great bridge to bring our emergency management county and city back together and get some community involvement, but that'll help all the volunteer firefighters when we're out in the middle of nowhere and we can't get radio signal out. It'll have a repeater built in, tower telescopes up, link everybody back together. So we do use the city for our first responders on fire. So
Absolutely.
I thought it'd be a great bridge to
Let's
do
try it.
that route. But if we can get that together and then report to y'all back the last quarter of the year, have a game plan and get going on it.
Sounds good to me.
For me, let's do it.
Any other thought?
Nope.
All right, I'll get with Thomas and Anthony and we'll get some ideas together and brought back to court. All right, workshop's over. We'll go back to number 20, discuss and take action on award of solicitation C 2360-26-011 financial advisor.
I'll make the motion to approve agenda item number 20 as presented.
Second.
Moving and seconded, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. Number 27, discuss and take action on resolution authorizing submission of disaster recovery reallocation program. Application number DRRP 301-1452 administered through the Texas General Land Office for Walker County. That'll be my motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion.
Can I get clarification on that number 20? That is the award to EA Davidson. Okay, just.
Can you say that out loud?
Want to make that part of your motion?
Yeah. To be awarded to
Dave?
A. Davidson and Company.
Most second.
You want to vote on that again?
I think we should
All
probably.
right, I got a motion and a second to go back and revisit number 20, adding DA Davison, and a second followed up. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. All right, no more executive session today. Public comment? Questions from the media? All right, Commissioners